Yo, 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 we are back. It is Rocket Mortgage Classic this week, a week that has been friendly to not only golf bettors around the world, but myself over the years, particularly in the long shot market. Cam Davis, ring a bell from a few years ago. Absolutely. Here's the deal, friends. The promo code before we get into my three long shot picks for the week is LINES, LINES. That will get you 10% off any weekly, monthly, annual subscription to join full access to the entire RotoBaller team. I have two articles out now on the RotoBaller website that are completely free of charge. Market movers will be up tomorrow. You will get complete access to all the outrageously detailed models from Byron the Model Maniac, from Spencer, the wizard of the spreadsheets, two fantasy sports writers of the year, both aboard the team. Full access to the entire group. Joe Nicely, Matt Miller's covering Live Golf. My boy Ian from Flag Hunting's got an unbelievably detailed course preview up as well. Make sure to hop on board the RotoBaller team. Okay, let's hit some bombs for the Rocket Mo. Detroit Golf Club. Here's the thing about this course, guys. I've done a lot of digging into it. There are really no nuances to it. It is right in front of your face, and it will encourage you to deploy driver off the tee because there is a very minimalistic penalty for a missed fairways. If you do hit the fairways, which are 35 yards wide, you're ultimately going to have between 50 and 150 yards in on most holes. And from there, it turns into a putting contest. It's the perfect recipe for a long shot. Let me give you three guys that I like this week. Okay. First guy on the board. Um, Really good course history here, which I think is somewhat important because we've only seen this event played at this course 5 times. This player that I'm going to highlight first on the board has a finish of 10th in 2022, a T12 in 2020. His recent form has actually been pretty fantastic as well. I'm going to showcase that now. Let me just bring him up onto the screen here. Let's talk about my boy at 55 to 1. And I'm speaking of Matt Wallace. Matt Wallace, if you checked out any of sort of the DP World Tour event last week, the KLM Open, went off as the favorite in that event, finished top 15 there, but he's putting together consistent numbers and kind of really picking his spots strategically on the PGA Tour this season. You see, he gained 5.5 at approach at the Canadian Open. PGA Championship made the cut, played reasonably well throughout the weekend. Top 20 in Myrtle. T4 at the CJ Cup, Byron Nelson. Was in contention for a good while. I believe the 36-hole leader in Mexico at another course that's totally wide open. Played good at the Valspar. He's picking his spots. He's trying to come up with this sort of twilight career performance that he's able to continue to build on. He's 55 to 1 in a weak field event where he has great course history and is a player that is not only fresh, but hungry for a victory to maintain his status and get himself into more of these events. This is a guy who's played really well this season, who couldn't sniff the Masters, who couldn't sniff the U.S. Open. Matt Wallace deserves to be in those events given the talent level and the player that I know him to be. 55 to 1 this week in the outright betting markets, I think, is a worthy price and a weak field at the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Okay, next on my board, 70 to 1. I mentioned the recipe, and the next two guys are going to sort of fall into that category of I want players who hit it really far. This is a golf course that doesn't necessarily separate player A from player B when player A is a fantastic approach and all around ball striker. Reason being is you're able to kind of scramble from nearly anywhere on the course and find a spot on these relatively easy greens to make a 25-foot putt. If you're way offline or you're not, you're still going to end up in roughly the same area around the green, and then it becomes a putting contest. But the key element that can't be sort of it doesn't have as many variables and is easy to predict when you look at winners here like Bryson DeChambeau, like Tony Finau, like Cam Davis. These are guys who hit the ball really far. I want one of those on my team, and he's a former and most recent Ryder Cupper at 75 to 1 this week. Nikolai Hojgaard. Okay. Midseason struggles have sort of ensued for Hoji, but he's had some nice pop performances. You top 20 at the Masters, made the cut at not only the PGA but the US Open. He's showing up at the majors, and what I really like to isolate is you look at these last 3 or the last 4 out of 6 approach weeks, right? I'm confident that this is a week where Nikolai Hojgaard is going to be able to gain strokes off the tee. As I scroll down here, you see his ball speed is 10 miles an hour faster than tour average. He's averaging 310 yards off the tee. That's an asset this week, guys. 52% driving accuracy, not good. I don't think it hurts him, and is sort of a stat that is de-emphasized at a place like Detroit Golf Club. I love this. I don't mind this week. Gain 6 strokes putting, gain 2 strokes putting. He's obviously got to bring that part of the game, but at 75 to 1, you're talking about a guy who's won multiple DP World Tour events, is one of the highly touted rookies. I think that early in the season, obviously a second at the Farmers, he went off as like the second favorite in this Mexico Open that week at like 20 to 1. Now he's 75 to 1 on a similar course profile to the ones where he was one of the favorites in those events. Ton of experience, ton of talent, 75 to 1. Hoji's on the card. Speaking of young talent and a guy that hits it really far off the tee, is it Toasty time? Because Toasty's 110 to 1 this week, and I'm kind of feeling it. Top 20 at the Charles Schwab, where he dominated on approach, 6.6 on approach. You look back at Houston, where he finished T2 that week. Look at the tee to green numbers there. Again, with a putter really well that week also. Houston Open, Charles Schwab, like I think that he can play a similar aggressive style strategy that he did there. Even played pretty well at the Heritage, because this is a guy, and you saw him at Valhalla, he's going to hit driver everywhere. He doesn't pull hybrid, he doesn't pull 3-iron. This is a course that sets up to that. I saw Bryson DeChambeau dismantle this course in that way. I saw Matthew Wolff play in the final round with them by doing it the exact same way. Cam Davis, hit driver, don't hit fairways, doesn't matter. Scramble your way and have a good putting week. 110 to 1 on Toasty. Here's another guy who crushed it. 314 off the tees, hitting less than 50% of fairways. I like these type of players this week, clearly. Here's my 3 guys. I mentioned them earlier. Wallace, 55. Hojgaard 75, Toasty 110 to 1. Those are 3 long shot plays that I love for the Rocket Mortgage Classic. I'm really dying for one of these winners to sort of make me whole on the season. Thank you all for checking out the video. Make sure to subscribe to the RotoBaller YouTube page. Give this video a thumbs up. Drop a comment. Tell me who your favorite long shot is this week for the Rocket Mo up in Detroit, Rock City. Talk to you guys next week for the John Deere Classic. My name is Joe Idone. On behalf of the entire RotoBaller team, we thank you. Good luck. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.